Merry Christmas! My name's Alex Campbell.
My name's Steve Buscemi.
And you're watching Dissecting Vikings. So, I'm a little bit disappointed that Ivar didn't sacrifice Fitzurk. Said in the previous episode that would have solidified Ivar's insanity and that Fitzurk hadn't really done much towards the narrative. He's just kind of been swanning around in a state of confusion as where his place in the world is and stuff. But he did have a moment with the seer where he's talking about, "You will do things that no man has ever accomplished." So presumably Michael Hirst is going to do something with that character now.
Yeah, well, that has to, and as you say, it just kind of he kind of like sulks on the side. He kind of wanders around aimlessly, and he's just kind of
confused and perplexed. He chose Ivar, but doesn't know why. He's just swanning around.
I don't find him to be the best actor in the world. I find
no, he's young.
Well, I find out of and this is the same sort of criticism about, say, Hakeman and the actor's portrayal of the accent and everything. It's a spectrum, and all the actors have varying degrees of how well they're able to make a convincing accent, whatever. And I find that he's on the low end, but he just sounds too young, right? He's trying to put on the
like
deeper, more grown up,
Scandinavian kind of.
But
he's like 20. The guy who plays Hagen is like 40.
Yeah.
I mean, I would expect this is like his first big acting role.
Which is fine.
So like, he gets leeway to like warm into acting.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
That's totally fine. Again, though, it's coupled with the aimlessness of the character. And, fine, you have the seer and him, but, you also have the seer again with Ivar, and it's kind of the same sort of thing. I guess, foreshadowing that he is, as a character, going to do something.
No, well, he is definitely. And he has been. I mean, look what Ivar's achieved. I mean, he's the king of Kattegat now. He's fucking sacrificing people. Who? Fitzurk?
Yeah, Fitzurk.
Yeah. It's like he's done nothing.
For foreshadowing is not great when the entire history of the character is lackluster, to say the least.
Michael Hirst needs to start setting his character up.
Yeah, and
having him do stuff.
And foreshadowing like that doesn't really do anything for me.
Unless it comes through with the prompt.
Well, it's like if it was Bjorn or whatever sitting next to the thing and the seer, and he was like, "You're going to do great things." It's like, well, yeah, he's Bjorn, right? Yeah. He's this crazy dude, and he's like a warrior, and we know his characteristics. He's strong. He's headstrong. He's got all this stuff. It's like, what are the characteristics of Fitzurk?
He's uncertain.
He's aimless.
He's a bit timid.
He's a bit pathetic.
Quick to anger. He's confused. He's young. He's naive.
He's on the verge of being disposable.
Well, I think Jasper said, like, he's the son of Ragnar you can throw away.
Yeah.
So me and Jasper expected him to be thrown away. But it was a Lagertha knockoff. And that sequence was really cool. All the visuals were great. The music was great. The war paint. A few really cool slow motion shots of Ivar and the flames. I like the way how when they cut her throat and they threw the oil on the fire, it just like engulfed her body in fire.
It was well set up, and it had the lightning, that has like the tie-in with Thor and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. It was cool, and it was like over dramatic, and this is again the sort of thing, the way that you handle a character like that. Yeah. And you mentioned again with Fitzurk, if he sacrificed him, that would really solidify the sort of crazy angle. You really should do that, right? You can't, when you're ramping up a character like this, you shouldn't sort of... you need to
go all in.
Go all in, right? Or else, but that's fine if there's complexity to the way you're doing that, where he's a bit uncertain. But he's not uncertain, he went saw the seer.
Well, Ivar did regret killing Sigurd, like, massively. Yeah, cried and shit.
But he was a different character back then.
Yeah, so you think he should just go all in. Oh, but he should be like, black and white, like, he's evil and crazy, but on the other hand, he's like, what the fuck am I doing?
Well, the sort of, and again, the criticism I've had before with the way that you can handle this character is that by ramping it up so hard with that character, just in terms of acting and being dramatic and everything, he's kind of acting like that, but then again, you have all those sort of, he's acting like he is black and white, right? He is crazy, right, and overpowered, but then, the way that you treat the character with other things, it needs to be sort of a bit more decisive whether he's going to be that more complex character or he's just going to move on into full. It's like
when he's out there, and the guy's spitting blood in his face, which was a great scene. Reminded me of Kill Bill Volume 2. When the bride is on the ground, she spits blood in old mate's face, and he spits chewing tobacco in her face. It's like when he's in the bedroom, he has all those like moments where he's like, what am I doing, blah blah blah, and then when he goes out and like punishes at people, he's putting in the persona of like the king. I'm sure like Hitler had moments in the bunker with Eva Braun. He's like, what the fuck have I done? People are like nuanced and they fight against themselves and have many aspects. Hitler wasn't just fucking evil. He wasn't like a caricature.
No, that's right. Well, so again, I'd like to see sort of that same level of complexity that they showed when he killed Sigurd, right? That sort of immediate. He's quick to anger and all that sort of stuff, and then makes decisions that he regrets. Almost immediately.
He should be like sporadic and like he'll do something and then immediately be like, oh fuck, what have I fucking done? But I shouldn't have done this. I guess keep on doing this.
I guess he's more certain though.
Well, with the introduction of Freydis, she's reaffirming all this and backing him up and saying that she's fallen pregnant from drinking his blood and all this shit. So
that's fine. Yeah, he's well and truly convinced. So that's fine. We'll see how it goes. They are doing a good job. Right? They're riding the line.
Hatred must never take the place of love.
So we got some resolution in Iceland. Floki has finally gotten to the point where he's like stepped up to the mark with this murderous fucking family of cunts and said, you need to get the fuck out of this community. We're starting this, we're trying to do this thing, and you guys have just been fucking us over from the beginning. It all like obviously came to a climax with the murder of that pregnant chick. And that scene where she like confronted him in the rain and stuff, I thought that was awesome.
It was very cool.
You don't realise what's going on until like halfway through it.
Got the thing.
The reveal was nice. There was no music. It wasn't like over dramatic. They could have overdone it, like she turns and it's like but it was just like, it was like haunting and quiet.
Well, so they had sort of like a foggy gloom sort of effect going on, and then just letting the ambience of the heavy rain sort of play out in the crackling fire.
The dialogue slowly coming, and she says she gets hit in the head, and kind of like, oh wait, what is? Oh, this is happening now. This is cool.
He had already prepared a place for me, and had made a shallow trench. He laid me in the shallow trench, then covered my body with stones.
Tell me what this trench is.
And it also, it reaffirms that Floki is actually part of the gods, because he had a moment where he was just in doubt and the community was fucked, and he was like, this is all fucked up.
Well, that's part of your I guess it's maybe a trope, right? Is that's part of your divinely inspired character that has moments where they're left to their own devices without the divine inspiration or the visions or the guidance and any of that sort of stuff, and then you get reaffirmations, right, sprinkled throughout it that hardens their resolve.
Yeah, definitely.
And so it will be not, I think at this point, this hopefully resolution, the beginning of a resolution, and moving on with this community.
Yeah.
That will be good, right? Because or else it would have been dragging on way too long.
Yeah, well, it's been it's been a few episodes now where like nothing's really been happening. It's just been the same thing repeating. But now with them gone, I don't think it's gonna be the end of them.
No.
But like something is happening. We need to see the next story in this community in Iceland now. What happens next? What's the next thing?
Well,
What's the next drama?
and you know, I remember talking about this a very long time ago.
And Galaxy Far Far Away? Go on.
Nobody likes Star Wars anymore.
Yeah.
Star Wars.
R.I.P. Star Wars. We'll remember ya.
About the status of the fertility of the place that they're at, because it's funny that they when they went looking for the body, right, and they were found it, and the ground they were on was rocky and really barren and all that sort of stuff. But you know, a couple of scenes previous on the island, they're back in the black soil with the geysers and everything.
Well, now that family that's just been constantly sabotaging the community has been banished, I'd like to see the community do well and start to thrive. Just see like little everyday things of them like plowing and building a community. Maybe rather than like high drama shit, just like casual like Sopranos kind of like household, like Tony drinking orange juice with Camilla type of stuff, but floaty.
He comes out from behind like, you know, a curtain in a room or something like that, and it's just what's his face, Tony Soprano.
Yeah, come to my community. Fuck yourselves.
No, it's not Tony. It's what's his face, the older fellow with the white streak through his shirt.
Paulie Wall.
Paulie, yeah.
What? It's like, no, it's that. Eating meat. Go fuck yourselves.
All our food, pizza, calzone, buffalo mozzarella, olive oil. These fucks had nothing. They ate putzi before we gave them the gift of our cuisine. But this is the worst. This espresso shit.
Take it easy.
2 small coffee to yours.
That would be perfect. That's what this show needs. A portal from another genre and Paulie Walnuts to walk through.
That would be the end of the show. Really the ratings
Like the term jumping the shark. That would be them jumping the shark. Also, this Magnus character is just seeming shiftier and shiftier now. Like how Uber and Lagatha called him out on his parentage. Like, I don't know. I mean, he's not the son of Ragnar.
You don't think so? I mean,
He could be. We as the audience never seen them fuck. And he doesn't, his demeanour and his stature, like he's little and he's weaselly.
But the English were little, right? That's kind of
Yeah, I guess.
But, well, so I think that it would seem a little bit odd to me if he's not. Right? Just because of the blonde hair and all that sort of stuff. It would be kind of
have a lot of hair.
It would be kind of like a red herring.
Yeah.
But in a disingenuous way, because he looks like a Scandinavian.
Yeah.
You know, he looks like Vitsa.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Vitsa small. And,
Yeah.
he's got the fuzz on his thing. And he's got curly hair, but it's blonde. Right. It's that ashy blonde.
Yeah. So I guess he could be Ragnar's son. We don't really know.
Destroying kingdoms, eh? Suddenly you're so important.
I have waited a lifetime. This is the meaning of my life.
We'll see, but that's like an interesting dynamic with him pulling Bjorn towards the Viking culture, and you got Uber and Torvi who are like completely foot in the Christian world now, being baptized, and he's completely with Alfred. They're like friends and stuff. He's like training him, throwing axes,
Which
at
is
him.
cool. I like I always like the combat training scene.
Yeah.
The forest or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like go harder than the other character expected.
Yeah.
I like that.
Pegging axes.
I'd like to see more of that. I'd like to see more of him sort of a bit tougher of a warrior. But in terms of Bjorn with the separation thing, it seems to me that the character would have done that anyway. So
Yeah.
I don't know whether it was necessary to have Magnus come into it.
Just using him as like, straw that broke the camel's back. It's like, hey, this guy's saying all this shit to reaffirm my beliefs.
Yeah, that's
His
true.
beliefs are already there. Like, he hated fucking Alfred from the fucking beginning.
Magnus believes that Alfred and his family have betrayed him. And have betrayed us. That they had no intention of granting us the lands in East Anglia.
So yeah, I guess the big like cliffhanger moment was old Ivar chucking an axe into the seer's rubber head. Obviously rubber head. I liked all that, like the flashes of like, you will rain ash down upon us and blah blah blah.
Your path is filled with garbage and blah blah blah.
Yeah. And then you just get that shot of the axe and the rubber head. The seer was always an interesting aspect of the show for me, because for the most part, it's like a grounded, somewhat realistic drama. Then you got this guy who's just completely mystical, like everything around him is magic. But you don't really think about it. He's just like there and he's part of the environment and it works somehow. But he really is like a different, separate element compared to everybody else.
Well, so the series is low fantasy.
Very low fantasy.
Very low fantasy. In the same vein as Game of Thrones, at least in the early sort of stuff.
Game of Thrones started ramping up, whereas this hasn't.
Well, and then you'd always have the tie to the fantasy with the seer and like, and through the whole Ragnarok
Floki had
thing.
a vision in this episode, like a godly vision of the dead chick, but it felt very natural and like cohesive to the rest of the narrative.
Yeah, well, Floki, it was always Floki and the seer and Athelstan.
Yeah,
right. They're back in the Ragnarok.
There was that guy who came at some point to forget his name. He was having sex with. I forget her name too. It's too many seasons ago. That guy and that chick. You guys remember? Go on.
I can't compete with that.
That level of detailed critique.
I do the best on this show.
So yeah, in conclusion, I like where Bjorn's going, his like pull towards the Viking kingdom, and Uber's pull towards the Christian community. I like the introduction of Magnus. I didn't see that coming. That just like came out of the fucking blue for me. And yeah, I don't know, I guess he could be Ragnar's son. We'll see.
Well, it better have a good payoff.
Also, fucking Alfred backing down, killing his brother.
Yeah, well, they had the uniting moment. It's like, I love you, brother.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, okay. Yeah.
And he's just being manipulated by that guy. That guy was like circling around him at the beginning, telling him
vultures coming in and don't like the Reformation king and
while that scene was playing out, I was never like, oh, he's not gonna do it. I was kind of like, well, I don't really know what's gonna happen here.
We must not be afraid of our dealings with these foreigners. These Vikings.
But yeah, it is very predictable, but there's all these like unpredictable.
Yeah, we'll say it wasn't predictable, right?
Yeah.
That's a classic story.
Like the Floki thing, you said, well, we're watching it, the trope is that Floki finds a body, then they all start accusing Floki. But rather than that, it was like, how did you find her, Floki? She told me. And they were like, she did she? Okay, well, fuck these guys, get them out.
But I wouldn't be like, what do you mean?
Well, yeah, I don't believe in invisible people in the sky.
What, one person knows where the body is?
Yeah. To our logical mind, in fucking 2018.
It was him!
But yeah, no, they're like, oh, okay. She come and told him. It all makes sense.
They've been very, very, very frail, like legal framework.
So yeah, I like what they're setting up. This season is far more this half of this season is far more interesting to me than the other season. The other half of the season was just like one-dimensional. There was one push.
Well, they were kind of wrapping up things, I guess.
Yeah, they were ramping up things, like the conflict between these two sides of the family fighting each other. But that was it. Now there's fucking like 8 different storylines interweaved.
We're back into political intrigue.
Yeah, and drama, politics, all that jazz. So yeah, any final comments?
I'm going to complain about Hageman every every episode.
I feel like at least 10% of these reviews have been us complaining about
I hate him.
Oh, this episode was so good because he was barely in it, and I'm like so like involved and wrapped up in the storytelling and the cinematography and everything, and then he comes out of the darkness.
In this moment, I love you more than anything.
I wish you were dead. I'm gonna email Michael Hurst. It's just the actor, man. I think if Johnny Depp was playing him, drunk on wine, stuffing up the lines.
Lagatha, I love you.
That would be equally as horrible. If anybody else other than Johnny Depp or Jonathan Rhys-Meyers was playing him, it could work. Macaulay Culkin.
Michael Douglas.
Anybody. Danny DeVito. Danny DeVito knocked that out of the park. Like I thought it was like leaning down and kissing, like stroking her face. I love Agatha. You're fucking awesome. I love God. Yeah, fuck God. Your pussy's better. Full erotic love scenes. Thank you for watching. Merry Christmas. Comment, subscribe. Blah, blee, blue.
I do not wish you a Merry Christmas.
I hope you all die in a car crash on the way to your family's house.
That's a horrible thing to say.
It is. It really is. Merry Christmas.